about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
Well, I'm not a crook. It's called personality, Dick.
Hi, Dick. Dick, the gentlemen are here.
It's time for the Dick Schaefer Show.
Let up, will you, Dick? I could sand that for you, Dick.
970 KDSF.
Good luck, Dick.
Pure Dragon Sports Talk affiliate.
Gee, Dick, now you gave away the ending.
Hope you don't mind, Dick.
With all due respect, Mr. Dick.
Come on, Dick, you said you wouldn't tease.
You don't know Dick.
KDSF, your home for USFL and wait a minute, USFL. What did I get? USFL. What is that? Turn that down. Thank you. I'm sorry. Your home for GSL and UWFFL coverage. What was I thinking? USFL. That was like 35 years ago. 30. Was it 40? 1983? I don't even know what year it is. I can't keep anything straight. That's what we were talking about, the years. We're going to have on the show today Rob Holecko from the UWFFL. He's going to talk a little bit about this whole time travel with the DeLorean thing they got going on. So what exactly is it, Dickman? Greg Dickman, our producer, is in the production studio right now, and he's helping me to understand this because I'm supposed to be interviewing Mr. Holecko later on this afternoon, and frankly, I can't make heads or tails of this whole deal with the. Why do they have black wristbands? It's probably a Black Lives Matter thing. It figures. I mean, that's good. We're down with that, and we are woke around here. But I don't know. It's ORU, Oral Roberts. All right. That's the NCAA tournament. Also is kicking off today, the first round of that. We're going to talk about that a little later as well. But Greg Dickman, tell me about this UWFFL thing real quick. Just like give me the elevator pitch of. What do you mean? What do you mean? I mean, like, what's the deal with the UWFFL? Because I know it started in 2013, and actually it started in 1999. But I'm sure Rob will talk about that. But in 2013 it was the UWFFL for the first year. It was the TBFFL before that. The TBFFL. Now, what is the TBFFL? Well, I think Rob could explain it better, so maybe wait for him on that part. But the UWFFL, they played like 2.5 seasons or a year and a half, 13, 14, 15. And then the GSL got started this year, and Rob got his fires all stoked to bring the UWFFL back. All right, and so they're going to pick up with the. What are they? So they're going to go back in time and they're going to simulate the seasons. This is what I talked to him in the pre-interview. It was saying about they're going to simulate. They're going to catch up. Right. They're going to start with 2015 and then they're going to get caught up. And then this fall is going to be the 2021 UWFFL season. All right. I mean, I guess if that's what they're going to do, then that's what they're going to do. Talk to Rob about it. I don't want to blow the lid off the thing, But, that's what he's on, to talk about. All right, well, and they're going to start with the 2015 Champions League, which that's getting ready to get started pretty soon here, right? I know they had the draw the other day. The group draw. They had their 16. Rob, you can talk to him about. All right, we'll talk to him about. So anyway, I'm watching this NCAA game that just tipped off at the top of the hour here. Oral Roberts is up 7-0 on. This is a 2-15 matchup, and the earlier games, Arkansas beat Colgate 85-68. That was a 3 seed, but a 2 seed, Ohio State just got their first point, so it's a 2 2-7, Ohio State on the board. But I mean, it's not uncommon for a game. It's just unusual these days. I can't keep anything straight between the COVID and the. So now why? Because of COVID, they had to start on Friday instead of Thursday because they were doing the first 4 games last night. A thrilling game, UCLA and Michigan State. I'm not really that into college basketball as much as I was at one point. At one point, I did get the March Madness, and I got it hard, every year. Couldn't wait. But now, I don't know, it's just something about, it's just not like it was, Yeah, I feel you, man. All right, and then last night, the Las Vegas Outlaws got off the schneid and got their first win. We're going to talk to Drew Abernathy a little later. He called the game with Jake Akbiavi. That was our GSL Network Thursday Night football game right here on the Sport Puck Network. I mean, it was on the GSL Network. No, it was on. We covered it on the. No, it's Sport Puck Broadcasting. We didn't have it on because I turned it on. I was trying to find it last night, and apparently you have to get the GSL Network in order to get that game. Oh, but Drew was calling it. Drew called it though. Well, that's right. He called it on the GSL Network. We're going to talk. There was actually the big news today was some big news with the broadcast contracts, and we're going to break that down with Drew as well. Or maybe we'll have Austin on, or we'll have Rob on. I don't know. Rob is with the UWFFL, but he's. It's also very confusing. But and Ohio State, I guess they're on a 10-0 run now, so that's how it goes with a 2 seed. It's 10-7. Well, Oral Roberts just hit a 3 to tie it back up at 10. But you figured a 7-0 lead with a 15 seed. Let me tell you right now, there is no way that Oral Roberts is going to beat Ohio State. That's just how sometimes it takes a little while to get the butterflies out and. Other than when Virginia lost to the 16 seed a couple years ago, other than that, generally the 1 and the 2 seeds, are prohibitive favorites against the 15s and the 16s. So, like I said, we got last night Las Vegas defeated Baltimore, and we're going to talk about that game. And then we're going to talk with Rob Holecko. We're going to have actually Drew Abernathy with a report from that game. And talk with Rob Holecko. And then we're going to have our Friday picks. Our record. Greg, do you have our record here? I know Monday we went over last week's picks. And we had a winning week, 5-3-1. What does that bring us to for the year? Did you look that up? I know I asked you to look that up. Yeah, going into last week, you were 11-15-1. And so you went 5-3-1 last week, and so you're 16-18-2. 16-18-2. All right, so we're gonna make our picks later on, and we've got a full fun-packed. That doesn't sound right. What are you trying to say? A full fun-packed. A full fun-packed show. That doesn't sound. Is that the saying? I don't know. All right, you're listening to Dick Schaefer Show here on 970 KDSF, your Dragon Sports Talk affiliate.
You're listening to the Dick Schaefer Show on 970 KDSF AM, your Dragon Sports Talk affiliate.
Hey everybody, it's your buddy Jake Akbayani back once again for your favorite and my favorite place too, Margot's High Class Palace. Now Devontae and the crew have decided that since the weather's starting to warm up, maybe they should do a clearance on some of their heavier clothes items such as overcoats, peacoats, and, maybe some heavy sports coats as well. So head on down to Margot's High Class Palace and get yourself a piece of their clearance action so when winter hits you next year, you are well prepared because this cold that hit us, whoa, was that out of the ordinary. So head on down to Margot's High Class Palace for their big old winter clearance and score you some winter wear that will go with your high class outerwear. And also don't worry, they still have their scrub mongery going. So if you need some N95s or some face masks to go with your gussied up get up, head on down to Margot's High Class Palace because and tell them your buddy Jake Akbayani sent you.
All right, hey there, sports fans. It's Whitney Jackson here with your 970 KDSF Sports Update. All right, last night in the GSL, it was the Las Vegas Outlaws getting that first win. Sidney Olsen with a touchdown pass to Douglas Hall in the final minute, and it was a 31-27 victory at home against Baltimore. We're going to, in a second here, have a wrap-up from the last night's announcing team, Drew Abernathy on the GSL Network. In other action, it's the NCAA March Madness is underway. It's the first round finally kicking off today. We had one upset. Florida defeated Virginia Tech in overtime 75-70. Texas Tech beat Utah State 65-53, and it was the number one seed Illinois taking care of Drexel 78-49. Ohio State and Oral Roberts is underway right now on your TV screens on another network. All right, here is Drew Abernathy with a wrap up of last night's exciting GSL game between the Las Vegas Outlaws and the Baltimore Bluebirds.
The final from your Thursday night football game on the GSL Network, the Baltimore Bluebirds 27 and the Las Vegas Outlaws 31. This is Drew Abernathy, and I'm joined by my buddy Jake Akbayani. Now, Jake, what took place tonight for Las Vegas to finally get that first win on the season?
Well, Drew, the big thing that happened for Las Vegas was that their defense showed up in a key situation. Now, the defense for Las Vegas has been kind of a weak link in the past, over the past few weeks. They've been in quite a few shootouts, averaging just under 34 points a game. Tonight, when it mattered most in the waning moments of the fourth quarter, the Las Vegas D was able to slow down that Baltimore offense, force a punt that allowed the Las Vegas offense a chance to get on the field and march down the pitch and get it in the house so the Outlaws can get their first win of the season, 31-27.
Thanks, Jake, for that quick summary and your final from the Thursday night football game on the GSL Network. The Las Vegas Outlaws getting their first win of the season, defeating the Baltimore Bluebirds 31-27.
All right, Drew, thanks for that wrap-up. We got more of the Dick Schaefer Show coming right back at you, so stay right there. .970 KDSF, your home. The Giants Federation Rainfire coverage. This is Dick Schaefer. It's the Dick Schaefer Show. We're back here on the Friday afternoon broadcast, and I see now there's two files on it. What is the deal with that? I saw Whitney use that one in the update. That was Drew Abernathy's wrap up of the game last night. Las Vegas. I do want to talk a little bit about that game. They held them to punt. There was a key third down play where Baltimore had the ball and the lead, and it looked like they had picked up a first down, and they were going to run the clock out, and the referee said the guy only had 1 foot in, and they called it incomplete, and we must have looked at that replay about 6 times, and I still think he got both feet in, and if they get that first down, I think the game is over. But Las Vegas went back down and won the game. And maybe we can talk with Drew about that. But what is this now? I see it's a minute 6, and then there's this other thing in here that's 5 minutes and 46 seconds. What is that? I thought that was it says wrap up, but that was yeah. He did a long one first, and it got a little too conversational. We couldn't use it. You couldn't use it in the you mean in the sports update? Is Whitney in there? Yeah. Hey, Dick, I'm here. Well, you couldn't use that the bit from Abernathy with the wrap up. It was too. What was the deal with that? What did he talk about for 5 minutes and 46 seconds? Oh, well, it was like a whole post game, like a whole conversation with Jake Akbayani. Yeah, that is Drew Abernathy and Jake. That's Three Thumbs Akbayani was the analyst. That is our GSL Network Thursday night team, and I want to talk a little bit about the broadcasting deal that the news came out, the GSL, we have all these spring leagues that come on in here, like the AAF and the XFL, and they all come in here with high hopes, and they're all exciting, and they get really good ratings for like one or 2 weeks. But the GSL it started slow, and it's just really picked up. And I think we can give the NFL some competition here. We got leagues our networks are clamoring all over themselves to try to broadcast this, because people, especially with the COVID this last year, people are just, everything is not like it was, and people are just clamoring for entertainment. And the springtime sports, I mean, you get golf, and you get, baseball's kicking off. We talked a little bit about that. Nobody really watches baseball anymore, I don't think. I don't know. The March Madness is on right now, and I'm sitting here watching it. I got Ohio State 17, Oral Roberts 12 right now, with 13 minutes in the first half. And it's just, I don't know, nothing is like it was, and people see this GSL product that they're putting on the field, and it is a lot like the NFL. And I know that the UWFFL went up against the NFL, and so they have a tough road to hoe as well, being that they're in the fall. But, I mean, take a look at the competition. The Atlanta Flying Fleet and the Toronto Terror. Well, the Toronto Terror are doing pretty good in the GSL. They were the Pontiac Prowlers last year, and they came over, and the Atlanta Flying Fleet was a UWFFL franchise that came over into the GSL as well. And now that Las Vegas won last night, Atlanta, I think, is the remaining team without a win. And so that shows St. Louis is 0-4 also. That's right, St. Louis. And a programming note, we're going to be in Arizona. Jackson Tate and I will be in Arizona for the game of the week. We were going to be doing the St. Louis-Wisconsin game, but something to do with the COVID restrictions in Wisconsin right now, we can't get in there. No, that's not what it was. It was because they're 0-4. No, that wasn't it. Well, I mean, the Washington-Arizona matchup is going to be a better matchup. It was, it was because the trucks are in Las Vegas. The broadcast, we only have one Sport Puck Network broadcast truck, and it is on the road. It's probably, as I look at my watch right here on a Friday afternoon, it's probably crossing the Hoover Dam right now and headed to Phoenix. So, does that mean we're going to have to figure this out every week, and like Thursday's game has got to be close to the Sunday game? Okay, maybe that wasn't the reason. I don't know. I think we were too heavy on the Eastern Conference, maybe? St. Louis is in the Western Conference. All right, I don't know. We decided to do the Washington-Arizona game instead of the St. Louis-Wisconsin game. Oh, no, there's something to do with the Stags. He already did the Stags on the cover in week 1. And so he wanted to do the... I don't know. Anyway, we're going to be in Arizona. We're flying out tomorrow after that thrilling game last week, which I want to say I haven't got to listen to the rebroadcast yet of the Toronto-Philadelphia game or Pennsylvania, I should say, game last week. And well, there's just a lot going on. We need to figure out, get everything together here. But anyway, we're going to be doing the Washington Stars and the Arizona Eagles, which the Arizona Eagles is kind of a flashback to the 50s. They're black and white. I don't see any color. I've never seen I mean, it's nice. It's very sleek looking, but they're all shades of gray, and maybe it's something to do with the desert. The colors are hot out there. I don't know. But we can say whatever we want. They're 4-0, and they are kicking some butt. And right now, Arizona and Pennsylvania are the two teams that are undefeated, and the Eagles are 8-point favorites against the Washington Stars, who is a strong 3-1 Eastern Conference foe. So we get to see, this is a key intra-conference matchup, and I'm very excited to see it. Washington, we saw them on Monday night. They took care of our Flying Fleet, but Atlanta isn't much. But at any rate, Washington 3-1 goes out west, and we're going to see if Arizona can go to 5-0. And that's our GSL Strontium 90 Sport Puck Network Game of the Week. We'll be covering it. Kickoff time at 4:30. Now that is another thing I want to mention along with this broadcasting news. The other 4 o'clock games, LA Seattle, Norfolk Colorado, and Miami Albuquerque have been moved to 4:05 p.m. They will be broadcast on the other network. We are that is our lone 4:30 game is the GSL Game of the Week, as well as we've got some games in the 1 o'clock. We have the doubleheader this weekend. So this is the new thing. We've got the new broadcast contracts have been signed, and we at the Sport Puck Network are proud to be the broadcast partner of the GSL, and we're sharing assets with the GSL Network for the Thursday night game. That's Drew Abernathy and Jake Agbiavi is the broadcast crew. And then our Monday night game, which you can hear right here on the Sport Puck Network, that is Dave Myers and Colonel William Pellegrino is our broadcast team for the Monday night games. And I don't know, I think they haven't awarded a contract on the Saturday night games. I'm sure they're going to use NBC music, though. What does that mean? Well, if you've been paying attention, the music is very familiar with these. Is this some more fourth wall stuff? Well, I mean, it kind of is. I don't know. I'm a little confused. But at any rate, the Sunday night game does not have a broadcast partner yet. The Sunday games are going to be split between the Sport Puck Network and the other network, which I think we are contractually prohibited from uttering the name of that network. So whenever we refer to those games, it will be as on the other network. The other network. Is that so? How do I listen to it? Well, you don't listen to it. You're an employee of the Sport Puck Network. You need to pay attention to our games. So, I mean, we got a pretty good deal here. We got the Thursday night. We're broadcasting the Thursday night games on the GSL network, and we're broadcasting half of the Sunday afternoon games, including the GSL Game of the Week, which is our pick of the best remaining matchups. And we're doing the Monday night game, and I think we have Easter Saturday. We have 2 games on Easter Sunday, I believe. I'm not sure. The regular slate will be on Saturday that weekend. And then, so we're a very proud broadcast partner of the GSL here on the Sport Puck Network. And that reminds me, I'm supposed to. I got an email. Somebody said to go to a certain point in the game. There's something you said that was funny during the Toronto game, or I mean the Norfolk game, the first one we did. How's that? I'll find it in the next bit, in the next segment. But there was a guy said there's a sound bite we ought to use because it's funny. All right, well, you try to find it, and we'll try to find it, and we'll play it, and maybe it's funny, maybe not, whatever. All right, so we come back. Rob Holecko from the UWFFL is going to be here, and we're going to talk about the broadcast. Oh no, we just did that. I guess it was So anyway, the announcement, did I make that? The LA Seattle game and Norfolk and the Albuquerque games are moving to 4:05. So the Sport Puck Network has a doubleheader. We'll have some 1 o'clock games, and then we'll be bringing you Washington, Arizona at 4:30. And you can catch all the action right here on the Sport Puck Network. Well, half of the action. I don't know, that segment kind of sucked too. I think a lot of these segments suck, and then we put the music in and it sounds good. So, I don't know, you're listening to 970 KDSF, your Dragon Sports Talk affiliate. What is Dragon Sports? Never mind, we got too much going on anyway.
You're listening to the Dick Schaefer Show on 970 KDSF AM, your Dragon Sports Talk affiliate.
This is Christopher Walken for Theme Park. I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you, the public, and express my apologies about my behavior and what transgressed at the Festival of Mints parade. I gotta be truthful. It was the most shameful thing I ever saw, calling that a parade. My deepest apologies for not beating up that Andre kid earlier. I know I had promised that I would be a man of my word and say that it would be mentacular, and clearly it was not even close. And I promise it'll never happen again. Scout's honor.
Located in lovely and historic Holecko, Florida. Theme Park, where every day happens.
Tilted body slowly covering the light. Pull the trigger every night to stay alive. Hope is wishing, but you're running out of time. If I could only read your mind.
970 KDSF, your home for Giants Federation Rainfire coverage. This is Dick Schaefer. It's the Dick Schaefer Show. We're back here on a Friday afternoon. We got our GSL picks coming up pretty soon, and we're keeping one eyeball on the NCAA tournament. Did you do a bracket, Dickman? What do you mean a bracket? I mean, fill out a bracket. That's what everybody does. You know, I told you about that website. I wanted to mention it. I didn't get a chance this week before it's too late now. Of course, the tournament has started, but I wanted to mention the this online competition that me and the boys have been doing. Well, I first did it in 1998, so this predates even UWFFL. It's called the Gonza.com, and it's a little internet. It's a little old-fashioned the way they do it, like with everything else on the internet nowadays. But it's nice. And you pick the bracket and you pick your teams, and then when the games you pick lose, you're out, just like everything else. But you try to win the. There's a trophy. It's nothing. Never mind. I was going to mention it before. Try to get some of this GSL crowd into the Gonza with us, but well, maybe next year. You know, March Madness is always here every year. Well, it wasn't here last year, but I mean that was because of COVID. So, but anyway, Ohio State's up 23-15. 9 minutes to play in the first half, and like I told you, that's a 2 seed is gonna put away a 15 seed, and I would not be surprised if Ohio State just dominates from here. When you go down 7-0 early, it's a wake up call, and a good squad like Ohio State would never get outplayed by. That's the thing about the NCAA is you got a lot of these smaller schools that are happy to be there. They win their conference tournament, but they're not really of the same caliber. You know, every now and then there'll be an upset, but I would bet my left nut that Ohio State will hold on and win this game. All right, so we got our picks coming up, but now joining us is Rob Holecko from the UWFFL. Are you there, Rob? Do we have Rob? Do we have Rob? I don't know. The phone line is dead. All right, well, we'll try back later. I guess right now we got some time to kill then. Let's, so back to that thing with Drew. So that 5.5 minute bit, was that a post-game hit, or what was that? I don't know. It was just him and Jake Akbiawi talking about the game. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and play that, because I want to, we're going to have these guys on, and we're going to interview them and talk about, they're going to be doing the Thursday night games. Of course, Drew hosts the pregame and halftime and postgame for the GSL Game of the Week and our Monday night coverage, and so we let him do some play-by-play on Thursdays, and so we'll have them on. So let's play for you now. Are you sure you want to play the whole thing? Yeah, just play. What was it? 5 minutes? We could play that. Rob. Apparently, we lost Rob Holecko. We were supposed to be talking with Rob Holecko from the UWFFL, but we don't have him. So let's go ahead and rack that up. Do you have it racked up? Well, I mean, it's digital. I just got to press a button. All right, so play that now. Okay, here is Drew Abernathy and Jake Akbiavi talking about last night's a game, the Las Vegas Outlaws, with a 31-27, I think, victory over Baltimore. It may not be 31-27, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I don't have it in front of me right here. If I was a true broadcast professional, I would have it in front of me. But since I don't, I'm going to click around a little bit, and this is called stretching, as I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it. We're getting onto the page, and then there's a ding. I don't know what that's about. But yes, I'm sorry. I should have just pretended that I knew, because it was 31-27. Las Vegas defeated Baltimore. So here's Andrew Seagraves and Drew Abernathy. That's not Andrew Seagraves. That's Drew Abernathy and Jake Agbiavi with a long-form wrap-up, I guess.
Welcome back to Allegiant Stadium in Paradise, Nevada, where the final from your Thursday night football game on the GSL Network is the Las Vegas Outlaws 31 and the Baltimore Bluebirds 27. I'm Drew Abernathy. This is my buddy Jake Akbayani. Now, on paper going into this week, this looked to be like a trap game for the Baltimore Bluebirds, and it looks like it wound up to be that way. That's right, Drew, and thanks for introducing me there. Going into tonight's matchup, the Las Vegas Outlaws were averaging just under 34 points a game. Now, their wins and losses didn't show that because, going into tonight's game, they had an 0 on the season. Yet, on paper, this is a high-powered offense. They're averaging just under 34 points, as you said earlier, and they had scored less than 24 points a game on the whole season. Now, the Bluebirds, on the other hand, they're averaging about 29 points a game, yet they haven't gotten over that 40 mark. So this looked to be one of those chances for the Las Vegas Outlaws to get on the field and show the whole GSL what that offense could do and possibly eke out a win over a team that's looking to possibly take over first place in the Eastern Division of the Eastern Conference. That's right, Jake, and Las Vegas came out and wanted to prove to everybody they were here to play. They normally do that every week, even though they're 0 for 4 on the season going into tonight's game. Yet, they came out swinging tonight, Jake. That's right, them boys had their pistoleros out and they were going up and down the field there in the first half. And they went into intermission up 24-17. Now, I'm sure the Bluebirds were a little shocked by this, and one of their successes for being up so much at the half was winning the battles down in the trenches. If you can get into the second and third levels of the defense and get some good blocks, you're going to be in the minds of those linebackers and those corners that, hey, not only do I have to watch for where the quarterback's going, I gotta make sure there isn't a big old 300-pounder breathing down my neck that'll make my life a little bit more miserable. And Las Vegas just wasn't doing it in the air. They were also mixing it up on the ground. That's right, their running attack and their passing attack were both equally ambitious and both on point. And as folks say, sometimes you use the pass to set up the run, and sometimes you use the run to set up the pass, and looked like they didn't need to choose one or the other. They're using both to set up both. And credit the offensive coordinator for having a great game plan once again going into this game. And also credit that defense for coming up big there in the second half to help their Outlaws finally get that first win of the season. That's right, Jake. When they came out of that second half, it looked like the defense was going to falter once again and possibly give up a lot of big plays to a Baltimore offense that they're pretty steady, yet they aren't as explosive as like an Arizona or even a San Antonio who gave Toronto a whole bunch of fits a couple weeks ago. That's right, Drew, and I think the defense kind of figured that out going into the third quarter because Baltimore was methodically moving the ball down the field. And yeah, they got 10 points in the lead back there in the second half. And there in the fourth quarter, it seemed like the defensive coordinator had to get into the faces of his guys and say, look, you got to hunker down. If you want this win, you got to make it happen. So there in the fourth quarter, he made the necessary adjustments in the secondary and the linebacking core that they were able to get some pressure on the quarterback and make him feel not very comfortable back in the pocket. And also make those big 300-pounders up front squeal because they were able to get a push up front there by their front four. And also at times they would bring the house, bringing that front seven and making the quarterback feel the heat. It sounds like a song, doesn't it? And don't you dare start singing, Jake. And that's going to be the story of the game, as Baltimore had to settle for a field goal there in the opening minutes of the fourth quarter. And then Vegas had a 3-and-out, and it looked like, here we go again for the Outlaws. They're just going to hand it back over to Baltimore, and Baltimore is going to have their way and come away with the win. Yet on a key third and short, the Las Vegas defense came up big and were able to stand up that bruising fullback for the Bluebirds. That's right, Drew.
And you could tell as soon as that defense had gotten off the field, because they had spent a lot of time on the field in that second half. And when your defense is tired, they make mistakes, and they just don't have that confidence they would like them to have, like they did in the first half, where they were able to get off the field and get the offense onto the field so the offense could have their way with the Baltimore D. And when the Vegas offense saw the celebration from that D, they fed off that and they went down the field, and with the final seconds of the game in the balance, Vegas was able to get a short pass for the touchdown and get their first win of the season. Thank you, Jake, for that fine analysis as always. And next week, the Bluebirds are going to be traveling back home to the Bird's Nest as they host the Norfolk Commanders to see if they can get a win back and possibly get back to 500. While the Vegas Outlaws will be back at home and they will face off against a pretty good Colorado Cabras team. For Jake Akbayani, this has been Drew Abernathy saying so long from Allegiant Field in Paradise, Nevada, where your final on Thursday Night Football on the GSL Network is the Las Vegas Outlaws 31 and the Baltimore Bluebirds 27.
All right, yeah, that was the game last night, and yeah, that was kind of long. I'm glad Whitney didn't play it during his sports attack, but I was going to jump in there, but we'll let them have their bit. I think we have Rob Holecko on now. So now joining us now, the commissioner of the UWFFL, it's Rob Holecko. Are you there, Rob? Yeah, hi, Dick, I'm here. Oh, your voice sounds familiar. Well, I guess it should, I don't know. You sound just like Jackson Tate. I think he sounds like you, Dick. Well, I don't know. I get that a lot. What I also get that I look younger than I am. How old are you? Well, I'm 46, but how old are you? Well, I'm 94. Well, weren't you 94 back in 2013 when we were doing the UWFFL? The first. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. I've never been on the radio before. Well, yes, but I don't age because it's a long story. We don't have time to get into it. We don't really have much time, but so the UWFFL is coming back. Yeah, that's right. We are doing we got the 2015 Champions League right around the corner. We're going to be simulating the 2016, 17, 18, 19 seasons, the 2020 season, and we'll be caught up in time to start the fall season 2021. Right, yeah, that's what we were talking about. Well, I'm sorry, I really hate to do this, but we had some technical difficulties getting you on, and we're just about out of time. We've got time for one more segment, and I've got to do my Week 5 GSL picks. So, what's going on with your Atlanta Flying Fleet? Well, I don't know. I guess they just suck. All right, well, that's it. That's Rob Holecko, owner of the Atlanta Flying Fleet and commissioner of the UWFFL. And we'll be back in a minute with the Week 5 picks as we wrap it up here on a Friday afternoon here on the Dick Schaefer Show. I don't know. I guess they just suck.
You're listening to the Dick Schaefer Show on 970 KDSF AM, your Dragon Sports Talk affiliate.
Hey, you gotta wake up. You look like you're so tired you could sleep through a nuclear bomb. It looks like your status quo has become a status uh-oh. So here, crack open a can of Strontium 90 Cola. Its atomic blend of raspberry, citrus, and guanana will collide with your insides to take you from a status uh-oh to a status go. So when you need a blast to help pick you up, grab a can of Strontium 90 Cola, bottled by Star City Sodas in the Star City of Roanoke, Virginia.
Hey there, sports fans! Whitney Jackson with your 970 KDSF final sports update of the week in the NCAA Basketball Tournament. They're in the 4 seconds left to play in regulation. Ohio State and Oral Roberts, 64-64, the 15 seed, sniffing the upset there. In other games, we got Loyola Chicago. That was with the old grandma a couple years ago. I wonder if she's still alive. I don't know. She was like 100. 30, that's Loyola Chicago 30, Georgia Tech 23. And other games, Oregon State is up 18-9 early on Tennessee. We got Baylor just starting the second half, up 46-30 on Hartford. And a little bit later tonight, it is Rutgers and Clemson going to play in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Earlier, Texas Tech, Florida, Illinois all got victories. Last night in the GSL, it was the Las Vegas Outlaws getting that first win, 31-27 over Baltimore. And coming up, we got Dick Schaefer with his Week 5 GSL picks. You don't want to miss that, so stay tuned. We'll be right back after this on the Sports Network, the Sport Puck. 970 KDSF, your home for GSL and UWFFL coverage. All right! 970 KDSF, your home for Giants Federation Rainfire coverage. This is Dick Schaefer. It's the Dick Schaefer Show. We got one segment left to go here in the in the Friday afternoon, and Dick, we got an update. What is that? We got a final in from the men's basketball championship. The game went overtime, and the 15th seed Oral Roberts defeated Ohio State 75-72. I sounded like you there for a minute, didn't I? Yeah, I'm getting a little tired. 75. What? So they did it. They pulled off the upset. Well, like I was saying, in the NCAA tournament, you never know. There's always upsets, and that's not what you said. What do you mean? I got this from earlier. Rack it up. Who are you talking to rack it up? I'm doing it myself, but I'm racking it. I was talking to myself, but it's okay. Here it is. That are happy to be there. They win their conference tournament, but they're not really of the same caliber. Every now and then there'll be an upset, but I would bet my left nut that Ohio State will hold on and win this game. It just goes to show, though, that, who knows? It's, I don't even like basketball, so screw it. All right, so we got the Week 5 GSL games coming up, and let's take a look at this. We're going to start Louisville 2-2 at Louisiana 1-3. Battle of two of the three Louis cities in the league. That's one thing that I keep confusing, and I think I did last week. I called, it was Louisiana was in the Thursday night game, and of course they lost to Norfolk, and I said Louisville, because when you look at the abbreviations, LOU and LSV, and so LSV is Louisville and LOU is Louisiana. But if there wasn't a Louisiana, LOU might very well be Louisville, and so every time I see LOU, I got to stop and think, and remember that's Louisiana. They should probably use LA for Louisiana, but then LA would be Los Angeles. Or is Los Angeles? I don't know. It's very confusing. Maybe we could have called them New Orleans. I don't know. They went with Louisiana, though, and so it's Louisville and Louisiana. And so I'm going to take Lou. The line is Louisville 9.5. Over-under is 60.5. 9.5 is a big number. And Louisiana's at home down in the bayou. And I'm going to take Louisiana plus the points. So we're taking the Royals.
And we'll never be royals.
Thank you. And this time, Dickman, I want you to actually put in Lord singing Royals. When I say thank you with a pause after I say Louisiana and the Royals, then that means I said thank you, because there's like a funny musical interlude there that is supposed to get dropped in. And since I guess we're not doing this live, you need to put it in post, but you forgot last week and I look like an idiot, but it's not the first time. Okay, I'll do that. All right, well, now it's not going to make sense because the people who were hearing it heard the music, but that's fine. We'll hope they heard the music. If they didn't, then I look like an idiot again, but who cares?
All right, so that's Louisiana plus the 9.5. And then we got the Diesel and the Terror. Dallas 2-2 at Toronto 3-1. The Diesel coming off a big upset win over the Comets last week. Want to keep that momentum going. They head to Canada to take on a Terror team that just suffered their first loss, but against a very strong Pennsylvania squad. And they're looking to get back on the winning side. Toronto will be home favorites in what looks to be a high-scoring game of the week. That was a very exciting game, and I hope we get that rebroadcast out there of that Toronto-Pennsylvania game. We had some technical difficulties, and so we're still working on releasing that, if I can say that. Toronto is a 5.5-point favorite. We're going to take the Terror minus the 5.5 against the Diesel. All right, we got St. Louis 0-4 at the Wisconsin Stags 2-2. This was going to be the GSL game of the week, but we flexed out of it. Or if you get flexed out on week 5, you're pretty bad. Well, I mean, this isn't the rules don't apply. We are going to try to broadcast every squad this year. I can't guarantee we will, but we're also going to try not to switch things up on people this late minute. But I had mentioned in that thread we had our which games we were going to do, and we never did really say that we were going to do it week to week now. Just kind of decide, and we will announce it during our broadcast which game we'll be doing next week. I do believe next week we are still doing the Oakland Icons game next week, but I am not certain. We will look into that. But at any rate, this game, Wisconsin is a 5.5-point favorite at home against the Brewers. And so we're going to take... Now, this is interesting. You got the Brewers going to Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin, of course, Milwaukee is known for the baseball Brewers, but it's just Milwaukee is... St. Louis with Anheuser-Busch and all that, they do a lot of brewing down there, too. So this is a battle of brew cities. Wisconsin is the Stags, and of course, but they are sponsored by our Blatz beer.
Black.
Did you know Blatz is a real beer? Well, of course it's a real beer. No, but I mean it's real, like not in the never mind. But anyway, it's Wisconsin minus 5.5, and I think we're still recording. If not, we're in trouble. We are. Okay, I just wanted because otherwise I've just been talking out into the ether for no good, but yeah, it is still recording. You really must be tired, Dick. Well, like I said, I'm 94 years old. What do you expect? That kind of whistled there, didn't it? Yeah. So we're taking, I think we're going to take St. Louis plus the points on this one, aren't we? Is that what we said? I'm trying to find my pen. Maybe it fell down here. I got it. You want me to take it over, Dick? No, I got it. St. Louis plus 5.5. A lot of 5.5 lines this week. We got another one right here. Pennsylvania is a 5.5-point favorite against Memphis at home. The undefeated Keystones. This may be their biggest test on paper so far. Well, don't say that in front of Curtis. I think Toronto, they were both undefeated, but maybe Memphis is an even stronger team. I don't know. We'll see. The Comets coming off to a disappointing upset loss in Dallas last week. We're probably looking ahead. I don't know. Do imaginary players look ahead? Well, anyway, to this week's matchup against one of the league's best teams. The Keystones have put together strong showings all year and hope to continue their great start with a win against the Comets. Memphis has underperformed, losing 2 games in which they were the favorites. A win in this one will give us some real credibility with the rest of the league. Well, I like credibility, but I also like wins. And like he said, they're 2-2. So we're going to go with Pennsylvania. I don't think the wins stop just yet, and we're going to lay the 5.5 against Memphis. Okay, now on our 4:05 game on the other network, we've got the Los Angeles Express 2-2 at the Seattle Sockeyes. It's always tough to go into Seattle. The Express have shown they are in any game this week after another big upset win for them, but their luck is probably going to run out against Seattle. Seattle needs to get back on the winning ways, I guess. They're 2-2 as well, but they will need to win in another big upset if they want to be a decent Seattle team. So I think up in the Northwest, we're going to take Seattle at home. Well, the number is 13, though, so the Express have played close. I think we're going to take the Express plus the 13. We're going to take the points and let the Sockeyes win it, but maybe not cover. And that brings us to the Norfolk Commanders at the Colorado Cobras. Now there's the Cobras. Now in the UWFFL we had a Colorado Cobras. So I don't know if those two teams ever match up. It may be confusing, and God, I hope I'm not announcing that one. The Colorado Cobras against the Colorado Cobras. But at any rate, Colorado's a half-point favorite, which in my book that's pick'em. But I guess you can have a half-point line. Very evenly matched. Norfolk 2-2 going across into the Mile High. Is this game at Mile High or is it in Colorado Springs? Either way, it's going to be at altitude, but this one is at Fort Collins. Okay, so it's at Canvas Stadium in Fort Collins, home of the Colorado State Rams. All right, and Colorado, of course, is breaking out the throwbacks, which have seemed to be unanimously loved by everybody that I've heard mention them so far this week. And so in lieu of that, we're going to, or in light of that, I guess I should say, we're going to take Colorado minus the half a point. Now, I did skip the Atlanta-Jacksonville game. I meant to go back to that before we finish up the 1 o'clock games. I'm not going to make a pick on that again, as I don't do, because I am a minority shareholder of the Atlanta Flying Fleet, along with Mr. Holecko, who is the principal owner. But Jacksonville's 2-2. Atlanta is a half-point favorite as well, and they hope to get a win. They need a win, and this is a divisional game at home. They got their end zones painted finally, and if they don't get a win here, I'm looking at their schedule. I don't know when they're going to get a win. Jacksonville is 2-2, but a close win against LA was one of those wins, and for some reason, the smart money has Atlanta a half-point favorite, so they better do it, but we're not going to pick that one. And then we got Miami at Albuquerque. Miami 2-2 at the Albuquerque squad. Albuquerque Adams 1-3. The Adams had a rough loss last week, but are hoping to rebound at home against the Soul, who are on a 2-game win streak after an 0-2 start. And we were there when rookie quarterback, whatever the hell his name was, got his first win, and then they won again last week in their home debut with him. And now they go on the road to Albuquerque. So since this kid hasn't lost yet, I can't remember his name. It's somewhere here. It was Stanton, not Drew Stanton, Dave Stanton, Standstill. It was Justin Standstill, Justin Stodgill. No, it was something else. Standstill. But he's 2-0 in the GSL, so we're going to ride that standstill and take the points. Albuquerque is a 5.5 favorite. We're going to take Miami plus the 5.5. And then our game of the week, Washington and Arizona. We're not going to pick that one. Really an exciting game on paper. Arizona's an 8-point favorite, however. And the Stars are trying to stay in there, and the Eagles trying to go 5-0. And that will kick off. Jackson Tate and I will have all the action at 4:30 p.m. on the Sport Puck Network, so check it out. The Sunday night game is San Antonio. They are a sneaky 3-1, kind of under the radar so far, on Sunday Night Football against the Cincinnati Knights, as the Knights are on national television, and they look to get a win here at 1-3. They need a win, and they're 5.5-point favorites against San Antonio. So San Antonio maybe is not as good as that record indicates of 3-1, but we will see. We have a team with a great offense and no defense taking on a team with no offense and great defense. So I'll let you decide which is which in that matchup. But the Texans are 3-1 on the road, and Cincinnati's a 5.5-point favorite. Well, I mean, I think that the records show, as the guy on the Giants said, if you are 3-1, you are what your record says you are. And so if San Antonio is 3-1, we're going to take the points. 5.5 against the Knights, and then the Monday night matchup is San Diego at Oakland, and we will have that pick on Monday on the Dick Schaefer Show. But to wrap up here, we'll go over our picks one more time. Louisville plus 9.5, Toronto minus 5.5, St. Louis plus 5.5, Pennsylvania minus 5.5, Los Angeles plus 13, Colorado minus 0.5 point, Miami plus 5 and a hook, and Seattle also plus 5 and a hook. Not Seattle, San Antonio. SA. That's not SEA. God, we're tired. I need a nap. At my age, you got to sleep when you got to sleep. And so that's about does it for us. On a Friday afternoon, this is Dick Schaefer saying, get your Dramamine and get on your flight to Arizona. It's going to be a long one. And that's what she said.
Diamonds on your timepiece, jet planes, islands, tigers on a gold leash. We don't care. We aren't caught up in your love affair, and we'll never be royals. It's a run in our blood. That kind of luck's just ain't for us. We crave a different kind.
Weekdays from 3 to 7. It's the Dick Schaefer Show.
Oh, yeah, right there. Yes! Yes! Yes!
Get yourself a little dick.
I'll have what she's having.
On 970 KDSF. That's a nice looking package. You're listening to 970 KDSF AM San Francisco, your Dragon Sports Talk affiliate, and your home for Giants Federation and Rainfire sports coverage.
Yeah, it's going to take us a little while to get all those tags switched over.
This podcast is a production of the Sport Puck Network, located at the intersection of sports, music, and double entendres. Find us on the web